You do not hear the snake first, you feel the bite. A sharp pain flashes through your ankle, you jump back. The grass moves once, then becomes still. For a moment, nobody knows what happened. Then someone sees the marks, 2 small punctures, a swelling line under the skin, and suddenly the whole group understands that the danger did not come from a lion, a fall, or a spear wound. It came from something small enough to hide under leaves. So how did ancient humans survive a snake bite? The honest answer is uncomfortable. Sometimes they did not. Snakebite is still dangerous today, even with hospitals, antivenom, and trained doctors. The World Health Organization estimates that millions of people are bitten by snakes each year, and many die or suffer permanent injury. Ancient humans had none of that. No antivenom, no sterile bandages, no ambulance, no laboratory test to identify the venom. But they did have one advantage: they lived close enough to snakes to learn patterns. They knew where snakes rested. They knew when tall grass was dangerous. They knew that a hand placed into a dark hole could come back changed forever. The first survival tool was prevention. Step carefully. Use a stick before reaching into brush. Watch warm rocks. Avoid sleeping in places where snakes could enter unnoticed. Keep camp areas clear when possible. These actions sound simple, but simple does not mean unimportant. A snake bite that never happens is the best ancient medicine. Still, prevention sometimes failed. A hunter stepped on a hidden snake. A child reached into a hollow log. A gatherer lifted a stone. A sleeping person rolled too close to a visitor seeking warmth. The group now faced a question with no perfect answer. Was the bite dry, with little or no venom? Was it venomous but survivable? Or had the body already received enough venom to change the blood, the nerves, the muscles, or the tissue around the wound? Ancient people could not know the chemistry, but they could observe the body. Pain, swelling, bleeding, weakness, dizziness, trouble breathing. A bite that stayed local might mean one thing. A person who became confused, collapsed, or struggled to breathe meant something much worse. Modern medicine tells us that movement can make some venom spread faster through the body. Ancient people did not know lymphatic systems, but they could learn from experience that a bitten person who ran, panicked, or kept walking often got worse. So the best response may have looked strangely quiet. Stop, sit, keep the bitten limb still. Do not let the person sprint back to camp. Do not let fear choose the first move. This is the counterintuitive part. In many emergencies, movement feels like survival. After a snake bite, stillness may be survival. The group had to do what the injured person could not do alone. They had to carry them, support them, slow the journey. Keep the bite lower and quieter, protect the person from heat, cold, thirst, and panic while the body fought an invisible battle. Some ancient treatments probably helped only because they made the person rest. A splint of wood, a wrap of hide or plant fiber, a shaded place, water given carefully. Someone watching the breathing, someone keeping the person awake. Someone stopping them from standing up too soon. Other treatments may have been useless or harmful. Cutting the wound, sucking the bite, burning the skin, binding too tightly until the limb lost blood. We should not imagine ancient people as foolish, but we also should not pretend that every traditional response worked. Knowledge was built by trial, memory, and loss. If a person survived after one method, the method might be remembered. If a person died after another, the lesson might be remembered too. But the snake did not leave written instructions. Different snakes cause different problems. Some venoms damage tissue near the bite. Some affect clotting, so the blood does not behave normally. Some attack nerves and breathing. Some bites are terrifying but less dangerous than they look. Others may look small at first and become deadly later. This made experience with local snakes extremely important. A group did not need to know Latin names. They needed to know which colors, patterns, habitats, and behaviors mattered. The snake near the water, the snake in the rocks, the snake that froze instead of fleeing, the snake that struck and vanished. Local knowledge could decide whether the group waited, moved slowly, or abandoned other tasks to get the person back to camp. The camp itself mattered. A bitten person could not hunt, could not carry water, could not watch children, could not walk long distances without help, so survival became social. One person brought water, another built shade. Another searched for cooling leaves, clean material, or familiar plants. Another washed the wound. Another watched the sky, because rain, cold, or darkness could turn one injury into many problems. This is where ancient humans were powerful. Not because they had a cure for every venom, because they had people. A lone bitten person faced the snake and the landscape alone. A group could buy time, and time mattered. Some people survived snake bite because the bite delivered little venom. Some survived because the snake was not highly dangerous. Some survived because their body endured the venom long enough. Some survived because others kept them still, protected, and alive through the worst hours. But there was no guarantee. A person might improve, then worsen. Swelling might rise, the limb might darken. Breathing might weaken, the face might change. The person might stop answering clearly. Ancient people could see the signs without fully understanding them. That is one of the oldest forms of medicine: watching, noticing, comparing this person to the last person who was bitten. Remembering which signs meant hope and which signs meant danger. There is evidence that humans and snakes have been locked in a deep relationship for a very long time. Researchers studying hunter-gatherers in the Philippines describe snakes not only as threats, but also as prey and competitors. Some adults had survived python attacks, and snakes were part of the lived world, not rare monsters. Other research on human perception suggests that people may detect snakes especially quickly compared with many other animals. Whether every detail of that idea is debated or not, the broader point is easy to understand. For humans, noticing snakes mattered. A snake could be food. A snake could be danger. A snake could be a lesson passed to children before they were old enough to understand death. Do not put your hand there. Do not sleep there. Do not walk barefoot through that grass at dusk. Do not chase what you cannot see. After the bite, the story did not end quickly. If the person lived through the first hours, the next danger was damage. The wound could become infected, tissue could die, pain could last. A foot injury could make travel impossible. A group that needed to move might delay because one member could not walk. That cost food, time, and safety. But abandoning a person also cost something. A skilled hunter, a parent, a toolmaker, a grandparent who knew roots, plants, water, and seasons. Care was not only kindness, it was survival strategy. If the person recovered, the memory became part of the group, the place where the bite happened. The time of day, the type of grass, the stone that hid the snake. The mistake that brought the hand to close, the treatment that seemed to help. The signs that appeared before recovery, all of it could become knowledge. The next child learned before being bitten. The next gatherer used a stick, the next camp was cleared more carefully. The next bitten person was kept still sooner. That is how ancient medicine often began. Not with perfect explanations, with remembered patterns. A snake bite forced ancient humans to face a terrifying truth. The most dangerous thing in the landscape was not always the largest animal. Sometimes it was the thing you almost did not see, a flash in the grass, a hidden coal under stone, a silent shape beside warmth. And survival did not come from bravery alone. It came from attention before the bite, stillness after the bite, and a group willing to protect one body while that body fought a danger no one could see. If you enjoyed this journey into the distant past, subscribe for more stories about ancient humans and human evolution.